You're about to learn the one thing that forces people to listen to you when you speak. If you develop this habit, not only will you speak better than 99% of the human population, you're going to become a memorable speaker. So let's get into it. Raise your hand if you consider yourself a very confident person. It's okay, no problem. Okay. Can I borrow you if that's okay? What's your name?
Sal.
Let's bring Sal up. Give him a round of applause, please. Come on. And Sal, by the way, he's a trained public speaker. He goes to Toastmasters, so he's going to do an amazing job today. No pressure. Here's what you're to do. Super easy assignment, okay? You're simply going to tell us what you did since you woke up in the morning and in between this session. So everything you did between waking up and coming to this session. So maybe you woke up, you put your slippers on, you went to the bathroom, you brushed your teeth, hopefully, and then whatever else you did. That's it.
Sure.
Okay? Now, you as the audience, show me your best poker face right now. No emotion whatsoever. You got it down pat, man. Holy shit. God damn. You've been practicing that one for a while. Okay. Just flat, nothing. Perfect. No reaction. When he's speaking, don't react at all. Okay? So I'm going to go back. I'm going to ask you, tell me about your day, and then you start 30 to 45 seconds. Okay? All right. 3, 2, 1. Tell us about your day.
This morning, when I woke up, I went to put my contacts in. I brushed my teeth. And I mentally prepared to go to the gym. I went to the gym. I ran. I lifted some weights. I prepared for our VIP breakfast. I paused, and I wanted to prepare myself for what Todd Herman was bringing to us. I had a moment of clarity, and I was very inspired. Throughout the Go classes today, the sessions, they were amazing. I kept feeling more and more inspired. I wanted to be able to take that inspiration and be able to bring that home and share that with people.
Pause. Okay, really good job so far. And man, you guys are really completely stern-faced. I want you to get a mental image of what he looked like and what he sounded like. Okay, just get a mental image. You are going to do the exact same thing again. Change nothing. The exact same events, everything, okay? But you are going to change something. Every single sentence he says is the greatest thing you have ever heard in your life. Pretend like he charges $50,000 for this. He never does this, and you happen to get an invite for it, and you are so lucky. So when he finishes a sentence like, I woke up in the morning, I want you to go crazy. Like, yes, oh my God, you ate a sandwich. Oh, that's I want you to be loud as hell at the end of each sentence, okay? And you don't change anything, just do it the way you normally did now. You understand the assignment? Yeah? Please don't hold back. At the end of every sentence, I want you to go crazy, okay? All right. Tell us about your day.
This morning I woke up.
Woo!
I decided to go to the gym.
Yeah!
I went and ran on the treadmill. I lifted some weights.
Oh yeah!
I got ready for the VIP breakfast.
Woo! You're the man!
I was inspired by Todd Herman.
Woo!
The breakout sessions allowed me to grow.
Oh yeah! All right, let's stop here. Give him a hand real quick. Give him a hand. Stay here for a second. Did he sound different this time?
Yes.
What was different? Confidence was different, okay. How would you define the confidence? What behavior showed it?
Well, his shoulders were back too. He was prouder when he was speaking.
That's right.
Body language.
Opened up. Okay, what else? Animated, okay. Anything else? First time it was a little depressing, wasn't it? Man, you had a really sad day today. What else?
He was feeding off the energy.
Yes, that's correct. You can have a seat real quick. Give him another round of applause, please. Now, did I change my instructions for him? Or did he sound different? You did, right? That is the E in CEO, and it is emotion. He fed off of your emotion, and his behavior completely changed. So let me ask you this. When you are communicating in your meetings and your presentations, is your end goal to somehow change the mind of the person listening to you in some way? Yes? Persuade them in some way, get them to think, feel, or do? We just saw with emotion how you change his behavior without him even knowing. And that comes from the emotion with which you speak. And unfortunately, in a lot of corporate industries, we talk as if we don't have a heart. We talk as if we don't have any emotion. I'm sure you've listened to a speaker who talks like this, and hey, today I'm going to talk about public speaking, and hopefully you enjoyed my session. So can you imagine if I talk like that? How many of you would still be here, right? You call Amir, who the hell is this guy, bro? Send him back to Pakistan. I'm from Canada, but whatever, you get it. Which, by the way, a side note, yeah, what will I do in Pakistan? Bro, what is this place? I was listening to the national anthem yesterday, right? I was up and I was like, we landed the free, like, oh my God, I'm so emotional. This man's voice is unbelievable. And then it hit me, why am I so emotional? I'm from Canada, man. But it's the voice, the voice got to me. So we got to learn how to use emotion when we speak. Now, here's the thing. We need to learn how to use the right emotion. Some of us, we have this certain cadence we talk in, and that's how we sound everywhere. We talk to our kids that way, we do a presentation that way, we're on the phone with the customer service, like we talk to everyone the same way. But let me give you a quick analogy, okay? I want you to imagine you have a pimple on your face. I don't know why I'm looking at you, but okay. You get it. You have a pimple on your face, okay? Imagine. And you're really concerned about this pimple, so you go to the doctor. And how do you want them to respond? You want them to say something like, okay, that's a pretty big one. Here's what we'll do. Take this medication. It's worked for previous patients. Go try it out, and we'll check it out next week. Calm, collected, in control. Now imagine you go to a different doctor, and you say, hey, I've got a big pimple on my face. And the doctor says, wow, that's a big one. You're going to need a strong medication for this. Same words, but I imagine you're going to be going to one and not the other. Is that right? This is why the emotion and the tone is so important. Now, when it comes to changing behavior, it's important to pick the right emotion for the situation. Pick the emotion for the situation. The current version of you is not effective in every single speaking scenario. So if you know the at-home version of Yasir, you would see a very quiet person who cuddles with his cat and doesn't talk to anyone. Would you agree that Yasir does not belong on stage? Right? So I have to change up the emotion that I bring to this situation. To give you an example of this, I'm going to tell you an embarrassing story that better stay between you and I. Okay? Sealed in. Do I have a promise? Stays in here? Okay. When I was a kid, I was a bit of a spoiled brat. I had this really bad habit where after school, I would buy a pack of potato chips. I would finish the potato chips, and what did I do with the wrapper? Just toss it on the ground. And I would do that all the time. And the teachers at school, they would say, what are you doing? Pick it up. It's okay, someone's going to pick it up. My friends would see me do it. Hey, pick it up. It's okay. And I kept doing it for a year, 2 years, just littering all over the place. No wonder no one goes to Pakistan. So, one day, instead of going home on my bus, my dad comes to pick me up. And what did I do? I buy the pack of chips, I get in the car, put my seatbelt on, and we're driving back home. I finish the pack of chips, I roll down the window. What do? Toss it out the window. If you were in the back seat of that car, the moment you would have seen that wrapper fly off with the wind, you would have heard this loud screech because my dad steps on the brake, the car stops on the side of the road. He looks over at me, locks his eyes to mine, and he says, pick that up. What do you think I did? I ran out so fast. Ran outside, found the wrapper, came back, put my seatbelt on. We drove back home. And I have never littered since. Thank you, I appreciate it. A little pity clap. Yay for your dad. Now, his parenting methods might be questionable. I'm not saying this is how you should raise a child. But what I am saying is, people have tried to say the same thing to me with a different emotion. It did not work. So my dad decided, let's go with certainty. Let's see if that works on Yasir instead. And that fundamentally changed my behavior for the rest of my life. So if you say the same words with the right emotion for the situation, you can create a real change in people. Am I getting through to you? Yes? So let's learn how to do this. For the first time, actually let's do something quick. I'm going to give you a quick phrase. Let's try this out before we do our quick group exercises. You loving my drawing or what? Yes? Okay, you can tell I went to art school, right? Let's take a sentence like, I don't believe this. Okay? Can you just read this out loud, please, in 3, 2, 1? Great. I heard some emotion there. Some of you just picked an emotion randomly. Good. We're going to try to say the same thing with several different emotions. Now, how do you tap into your emotion? If I just said, sound more excited.
I don't believe this.
Well, you did a good job there, actually. Oh, shit. Damn. Should have asked you to stay quiet. No. He did a good job. But if I usually ask, sound more excited, sound more confident, well, what does that mean? I don't know what that voice sounds like. So remember this, and please write this down if you can. Emotion comes from intention. Emotion comes from intention. I'm going to give you a certain intention before you say this word. And when you say it out loud, I want you to observe what it sounds like and see if it changes, okay? Raise your hand if you have kids here. Okay. Raise your hand if you don't have kids. Pretend like you have some, okay? You're going to say, I don't believe this, but here's the intention. You have a child who sucks at math. They've gotten the worst results in school for year after year. One day they come home and they show you the results and it's the highest in the entire school. I want you to have that intention and then say these words out loud. You got that intention in your mind? Yes? Okay, 3, 2, 1.
I don't believe this.
A lot of energy and happiness there, right? Okay, now let's change that intention. You studied for a test all day, every day, only to find out you failed the test. You're disappointed. Take that intention in mind. 3, 2, 1. Tone changed, didn't it? Let's try one more time. Your broke friend told you to buy crypto or Bitcoin or something, and one night you were really drunk and you're like, screw it, let me toss 10 grand in this. And then you forgot about it. In 10 years you realize you have like $200,000 in your account because Bitcoin blew up. That's the intention. Okay? 3, 2, 1. Did the words change? No. Which word changed? Did the way you say, did it change? That's how you tap into your emotion with your intention. Can we see the power of this? So when you go into a presentation or a meeting, a question I'd implore you to ask is, what do I want them to feel at the end of this? What do they have to feel for them to take this action? If I start this presentation and I say, I'm really excited to be here, you won't believe me, right? And there's going to be a trust issue. So what emotion do I need them to feel in this situation?